So
Live.
hi, this is Tony for Metal Exposure, and I'm sitting here with
Adrian, the guitar player from Ad Infinitum.
hi Adrian. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for
Um,
inviting me.
so just to go in straight, um, you have a new album coming up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's like our fourth studio album, the start of a new trilogy. Many things are being, let's say, laid out into a new direction.
Hmm.
And I mean, it's a new chapter, a new trilogy in many ways. Lyrically, the style wise, what the regarding the optics, the music, even the genre changed away from symphonic metal. So it's a fresh new start for all of us and also the fans.
Yeah, because you already released the EP that had Surrender, My Halo, and Outer Space on it.
Yeah,
How was that? How did the fans react to that? Because it's a different sound, what you said, than the previous albums.
yeah. I think it's overall very positive.
Mhm.
Um, I mean, the moment you have some kind of reach in the internet, you will always have a mixed response. Doesn't matter how good it is, someone will always dislike things, but the way we see it, it's very, very positive overall. We knew Surrender would be controversial for many pure metalheads, but we took the risk, and because the song is just too much fun, and we also thought the concept of the song is so strange, we need
Yeah.
to explain it with a music video. Just to have it as an album track would be wasted. And of course, this one has kind of had a mixed response, but um, I mean, I think the people who hated on that tune are not really fans. I think they just saw it, didn't knew us,
Mm.
and because it was just such random hate, we don't know the names of them, and
Okay.
so. But overall, we're very pleased with the outcome.
Well, that's good. And indeed, you said something about the video that it had to go together because it would
Yeah.
be a waste. And why would it be a waste if it was just a song on the album?
First of all, the song, and to our opinion, is very well written, and the production is so unique. Um, it it's we wanted to have it connected with visuals, so it's more, let's say, easier to understand what is happening actually in the song, and
Mhm.
that we're serious, or how to explain also on the visual side, how do we mean this song and what's our intention behind it. And so that's why we went for this one as a single.
Okay. And you also had like a video clip for My Halo.
Yeah.
That's also a little bit different than Surrender, is it?
Yeah, I mean, to us, it was the official first single. I mean, Outer
Hmm.
Space was like a separate track to promote the American tour, but it's also like a song from the upcoming album. But My Halo is like the first official single because it announced the upcoming album. It's the first song on the album, and all because to us it feels like the perfect mixture of everything. It's like it has like every aspect of the, I mean, not every aspect, but most of the aspects of the album Abyss in it. So because it was just logical to go with this one, to, hey, this is the new Ad Infinitum.
All right. And it is kind of a different sound than we're very used to, but it's also um, it's really catchy to say at
Thank you.
least. It's
Thank you. That's the goal. to
yeah.
to make it always catchy as possible, and to really think in the writing, in the songwriting, in the recording process about these things. How do I make this accessible,
Mm.
um, and effective and how do I push the emotion that this song contains and how do I polish it to the like in a perfect way. And that's what we ask ourselves with every song production. Is, for example, is this part needed? Is this sound needed? Is this transition into the other parts perfect? How do we explain the bridge? Maybe we should take this element of the bridge and put it into the intro so we have a motive that is like repeating itself and it appears again. These are like the questions that we have during production camps to make everything like glued together, that every song has like a logical red line and storytelling
Hmm.
throughout. And so when someone says it sounds poppy or catchy, not that these two things are the same, but to us, when someone says this sounds like pop, then to us it's like, thank you. We take it as a compliment
Yeah,
because that's about good songwriting.
yeah,
That's everything has like a story behind it, not only with the lyrics.
no, no, and I've seen the video. I've listened to the album as well, and
Yeah,
congratulations on the album.
thank you.
But later, later on that,
Yeah,
and it does stand out, and you can also, My Halo is a song you can everybody can listen to it. You don't have to be a metalhead just to
yeah,
enjoy the song, and that is what stands out for me actually.
cool. It's nice to hear. Like with singles, it's always like the choice where you have like to take the risk. It might piss this fan base off,
Mhm.
and this fan base might like it more. But with single selections, it's always about you cannot throw every fishing lines out with one song. Like you have this style, and the next single is this style, and then you're fishing in different ponds of fans and fan
Yeah,
types and see who's hooked. And sometimes it's a little bit frustrating in the album promotion process because you release one song and some fans think, oh, the entire album will now sound like this. It's like never been the case. But
yeah.
um, yeah, so during album promotion phases, everyone needs to be patient, and we hope that everyone finds their own personal treasure within the album. You don't have to like every song, but we are writing albums in a way where we think something is there for every type of metal fan.
That's really nice as well. So every fan, whether which genre you come from, can listen to this album and can find their own treasure.
Yeah, exactly.
And you talked earlier about a new trilogy in albums.
Yeah.
Is that also why this album is not called Chapter 4?
Yeah, no. So like when we wrote chapter 3, we already knew that this trilogy is coming to an end and that we want to start things over with the concept, with the music, with
Hmm.
lyrics, and we all knew let's make it more personal. Let's ditch the historically influenced things and ask ourselves first, what are we actually listening to as private people? And then we found out that we actually don't listen to symphonic metal at all anymore. And so we are way more into this new modern metal direction. And I mean, I've always been there with my eight string, and I'm an eight-string guitarist ending up in a symphonic metal band, which is cool. It was nice to have like this kind of clash and trying things out with breakdowns in symphonic metal, but everyone grew into this and said, "Hey, let's try it out." Um, so when we wrote Abyss, we already thought of a concept of, okay, where do we want to go? And let's think this big. Do we want to have another trilogy? And then we thought of like a extremely long storyline that
Hmm.
will go across all upcoming 3 albums. And they should be connected with the music videos, with the lyrics, with the artworks. Yeah.
Okay. So that actually well, that's another question as well. That's like, what are you guys doing in the future? But you already have the future, lined out to see what would
Yeah,
go fit with this album.
I mean, there's a lot of things coming up with tour plans, and we just changed booking agencies, and we're working hard on a
Mhm.
team that we can trust and work with, and we are like almost there. Um, and it's going great so far, and the future looks actually very promising, and we don't intend to stop.
Well, that's a good thing. That's always good to hear when you're really excited about this and you don't want to stop. Well, that's, in my opinion, that's always a good thing. And
Yeah.
now a little bit about yourself, because you did not grow up in metal, did you?
No, I mean, I started playing guitar when I was 6,
Mhm.
and it was like learning how to read notes, playing classical tunes. And then when I turned 11, I think, I started playing electric guitar, and I had a like a blues rock guitar teacher. And but after 1 year, I changed to jazz. And I was playing in big bands for a long, long time, for like 10 years. And I was like, uh, forget it. I just thought about like demonstrating what I did. But um, basically, I ended up in studying jazz guitar here in Cologne in Germany. And at the same time, I grew into like more this virtuoso jazz rock fusion stuff, and it's kind of like a drug, because you are hearing these techniques, and then you want to dig deeper. Okay, where do I find more of this? And you automatically end up in metal. And it's interesting, because many metal guitarists start with metal and end up in jazz because they want to learn about solos, and then they know, oh, I got to learn music theory, and then they end up in jazz and jazz theory, so they can apply that to their metal stuff. For me, was the other way around. I started with jazz and I ended up in metal and found my language there, which is the most true to my personality, I think.
Okay. And do you also bring like the stuff you taught, you learned at the jazz course? Do you bring it into the music as well, or do you just
Absolutely.
quickly?
Absolutely. It's like my toolbox for everything I do. Um, because I mean, jazz is not just about like crazy chords and music theory, but it's also about like lots and lots of listening experience. And so when I write songs, or when I write solos, for example, it's always about leaning back and listening first. What should happen here? And also when I write chord progressions or modulations into different keys, nothing of that would be possible without my jazz background. Maybe I would have found it somewhere else, but with music theory, the great thing is you already hear what you want to do, and you can also name it what you want to do. And that's a big, big helpful thing, especially when you are in a room with many people and you can express yourself. Language forms your reality. And when you can express it and name these things, it also forms the reality of the your people that you're working with. And so that's a very, very helpful thing to have learned all these things.
And it also, does it make it better when you're into the writing of the album? Like when you can explain things to your coworkers or band members, does that make it?
I mean, we're all like learned musicians, so
Mhm.
I'm not necessarily talking about my Ad Infinitum bandmates, but just in general. Um, but when we are writing, I mean, this is just for me. when I write, metal is not jazz. I need to separate these things. It's just
Mhm.
about knowing what is possible, what are my boundaries within this concept of a key, and where what things can change, can happen, can modulate, and just having this always in the back of my head. For example, if you run against a wall, there's never some kind of, oh, now I have to try out in the blue what should happen next when I don't
Mhm.
have any inspiration. It's always, I'm here and I know these musical possibilities that could make sense. Now let's try it out. That's just way easier than to have like four people not knowing what they do. Some might say, hey, that's way more intuitive and it ends
Mhm.
up more being more authentic. But to me, it's just not, to me, that sounds like an excuse of not learning music theory because it's never something magical. It's always maths, to be honest, when it comes to music. So maybe when a non-learned musician finds a solution for an inspirational problem,
Yeah,
he's also following musical theory rules if he wants it or not. The difference is I can name it.
yeah. So it all goes full circle in the end.
Yeah.
All right, so a little bit more about the album Abyss, which is coming out the 11th of October.
Yeah.
And do you have anything special planned for the release date?
It's absolutely insane, actually, because just a little bit of a backstory, because we never really played a release tour, and this is like the first time
Mhm.
that the album is dropping, and on the first day of, I mean, on the album release day, the tour, our European tour with Camelot is going to start, and so that's totally great, and we're looking so much forward to this because we have a new set, we have a new stage setup, we have new stage clothes, we have new music, new merch, new everything. And so this tour is really going to be very exciting. And but on every tour we're thinking about, okay, how can we make this special, or how can we evolve our setup and stuff to keep growing. And we bought a big light production for this tour and programmed the lights on our own and everything. And we have a really nice backdrop and stuff that is connected to the new album. So this is going to look
So what you're saying is that everyone should actually come to the shows with Camelot
absolutely,
or
absolutely.
any Ad Infinitum shows in general.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, also for us, it's very important that um, our sound is top notch, and we really have one of the best sound guys in Europe with us on this tour. It's like, yeah, we're really looking forward to this because, like, when you know you have the perfect guy mixing you, it also makes you feel super comfortable on stage because you know the stuff that you are transporting or trying to transport is reaching the audience actually. So we're really looking forward to this.
Right. And you're touring now with Camelot. Have you toured with other bigger bands in the past or in the future?
I mean, in the past, we were touring with Amaranth, Beyond the Black. We toured with Blackbriar, which are also on the lineup now with Camelot. We supported Arch Enemy for a few of their tour shows last year in the summer.
Hmm.
And next year, we're going to support Elevati once more. We already supported them once. Um, we are, yeah, supporting Elevati as well with Infected Rain. Yeah. Sorry if I forgot someone, but these are like in the touring aspect, the ones I should mention.
Okay, yeah. And then Just a few more questions. What is what was the hardest song to create, which is on the new album?
Mm, every song is kind of an obstacle in its own way. Um, so I think like creating wise, like Surrender, for example, was like the biggest question mark. What do we want to do with this? So we worked a long time on this song because the production needs to sit right. The breakdown that is going to happen, that is going to explain in the retrospective what happened actually in the first verse. We really try to think this through in a good way. And but there are also some songs I don't know exactly that are being rearranged after like a month. You're revisiting them after you actually thought, yeah, we wrote them now to the end, and then you're thinking, nah, that's actually not really right. I think we can do this better. There's always something like this happening, and but this is always on our radar that stuff can be revisited and needs to be yeah rearranged.
Okay, and what is the song you're most anxious about playing live for the upcoming tour?
Also, definitely
Or too
Surrender.
excited? Excited.
I
So,
mean, at the same time, I'm very excited to play Surrender, but also a little bit anxious on how it's going to work live. But excited, I'm looking forward to the most to Follow Me Down, which is like the second song on the album. And I think I can tease that. It's also having a music video in 3 days when this album about to drop. And the song is just a banger in your face. And I'm really, really looking forward to play this one, especially with the riffing. It's my style.
so it gets you really excited that you actually can play your style.
Yeah. But also like Anthem for the Broken, which has like one of my favorite guitar solos ever in it that I was able to write for Ad Infinitum. It's just I'm practicing this like day and night to perform this in the exact same way as I have it on the record. So I'm really looking forward to play the solo live as well.
Okay. So, for the last question, is there anything you would like to say to your fans listening to this interview or watching this interview right now?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm really looking forward to see you all in the future on our tours. Maybe not on the next tour if you can, but next year we have lots of stuff planned to cover as much of the globe as possible. And yeah, I hope that everyone finds his own personal treasure within our upcoming record, and that is going to resonate with you on a personal level. So I hope that.
All right. Thank you so much for your time, Adrian. Congratulations on the upcoming album release on the 11th, and have fun on the upcoming tour as well.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the interview.